Hello, 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 all my beautiful, amazing, fantastic machine heads. Welcome, welcome, welcome to a brand new series on the Buncha Wow 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 map. I am absolutely butchering that map, the map name, but it's Bunch, whatever. For those of you who know how to pronounce it, let me know. We're going to call this the Bunch map. Anyways, we have decided to take a break from the super realistic series on Judith, Montana. 4X maps to do ultra realistic is just too big. Found that out. But what we're going to do here is we're going to do a little bit. I have to turn that off because I've been transparent before and told you guys that when I'm buying equipment, I usually just super strength it back to the farm. So I don't put any hours and stuff on it. So that way we can set right up on our farm. This is going to be a on the map challenge, but it is not going to be a realistic series. It's going to be a real series where we're going to do everything we need to do for the fields, but it's going to be game speeds. So in other words, what I used to say, or my brother would say, is realistic-ish. So for those of you who want super realistic, that will not be happening on this map. This map is a standard 2X map, and it is very, very small, although it would be very capable to do an ultra realistic series on it. I don't think, as I've proven several times, every single time I start an ultra realistic series, by episode 4 or 5, it starts to drop off, and that's okay. That's okay. I do understand it. I myself do not want to watch a series where someone's harvesting for 6, 7, 8, 9 episodes. I get it. I understand. But we're going to move on, and we're going to take a break. It's still in the saved game, and we're going to keep our videos at 30 minutes, but we're going to run 3X speed 1 day months. So just like we're running on the Wilderness Wildlands, when we get done with our work, we'll just sleep till the next day and move on and keep moving the series. We want to, I'll give you a show what it is here. There is tons and tons of fields on this map. I do believe there is 123, I see, 187. There's like 193 fields, I think there is total. But they're very, very small. Like the biggest field is like this one here. Now this one is like 9 acres, I think, and then there's a couple 6s, but generally speaking, if you look now, I went into the additional game settings and I added we start with 3 fields of corn that are ready to harvest, just because we don't run with any seasons or anything like that. We want to plant what we want to, but I want to have harvest ready to go. I've always been transparent to you guys. I've always done it that way. But we will give equipment tours as we do it so that we can get busy, because our videos are only 30 minutes long in here. So we start with, I'll show you real quick. We start with fields 76, 77, 78, 82, 83, 96, and 95. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 cornfields and 2 grass fields. But as you can see, let me peek my head in here. 0.93 acres. So, very simple rules on this map. Very, very simple. We must own the map. We must purchase everything. As we see up in the right-hand corner, we start with $0. We must purchase everything by realistic. And in other words, we cannot take loans out. By the time I am done with the Wilderness Wildlands series, I will be loaned out. I will be absolutely done with loans. Even though it was only $6 million only. I've had to work for every penny to get that back, that $6 million. I mean, I'm even growing sugarcane, for those of you who want to watch another series and see a series that's gone up and down and crazy and many different kinds of crops and stuff. I would watch that one. We're getting really close to the end of that series, but we must purchase everything, every field on this map, and at least harvest 1 time on it, and that way we can get out of here. Now, our farm, real quick tour, and I'm not going to go crazy on it because we'll do it as we go. We have a possibility of 300 cows max. That's it. We're not going to do this 1,000, 5,000. This is too small of an map for that. So we have our first cow pen, a slotted cow pen, and we don't need a manure spot because it spawns inside. This is manure storage. We start with the John Deere 34. It is only 5.9 meters wide, nothing more than 6 meters, and nothing more than 200 horsepower. So it's going to be really small, older equipment. As you can see, I brought in the John Deere HX20 only because I own one in real life, and I think it's really great. Here is our silo garage. It's literally a combination with our International 200 custom in there. That way, when we run to the shop, we can get seeds and fertilizer, because I have the little baby bags that we could pick up for that. But here's the other one. Holds 150 cows. That's it. So 300. And here's our windrower. This is the most modern piece of equipment on here. Even the sheds I picked. And on this map, just so you guys know, you can sell everything off on the farm and sell it and rebuy it. Literally rebuy it. But I put some stuff in here. Here's our cedar and our Fiat Gris. We are going a Fiat Gris series. It took me a second to realize what we did. I'm going to be moving that over there probably. This is a nice little shed, to be honest with you. Oh, we just shut ourselves in. All right. And then these sheds are going to be 4 bales. We're going to do 1 hay, 1 silage. Probably do 1, 2, 3, 4. We only need 1 straw. That's it. And then we'll do 2 hay and 1 silage. I'm not quite sure when we get to TMR. Right now we're a long ways away. Also, this mod I found on the old King's mods. This mod and this mod, or this and this, right, are placeables that are in game already. What somebody did is they modded it and they put this with this. It's a workshop, the small workshop, and the one shed that's here. I can't remember the name of it. But they put it together so now when you purchase it, it's all one. This house, like I said, comes with the map. You can sell it and replace it down, because that's exactly what I did. I sold it and then I really put it back down again. So everything on the farm pretty much matches as far as color. It all looks the same. But it's going to be a fun series. We're just going to go, like we're just going to keep going and going and going until we own the whole map. Now fields on this map are not that expensive. Like, for example, if we wanted to purchase, let's say this next one here, okay? It's only 33,000. But we say only, but it's going to take us a while. We cannot bring in money just to buy a field. We must earn it. If we want to upgrade our equipment from like the 3-meter mulcher or windrower to a 6-meter windrower, we have to earn it. We have to earn the money to buy it. And that's it. We can't just mix and match. Now, what I did is I came in here and I sold all the equipment and got it and purchased all this new equipment, and then I put the money in 0. That's my transparency. That's as far as I go now. Now let's go on with this series. So I had to move the load all out of here because every time I tried to load into this, it wouldn't. This is the Fiat Gris L626 combine. So like I said, we're going to go game speeds, and it's going to be cool. Let's go here and unfold this. And we do also have the straw swaths. So because in real life, you would get straw fodder from the corn. So that's exactly what we're going to do. Now we're going to set up our GPS here because I do believe this Fiat Gris New Holland came out in the 90s, I think. So it would have GPS on it. I think it was mid to late 90s that it came out. It might be a little older than that, but I'm pretty sure the Fiat Gris, it came out in the late 90s. But it doesn't have the Starlink on it, but you could put one on it very easy. Convoy Agriculture, that's pretty cool. So we're going to bring up this, because I'm going to make my headland this way. So we are going to do left Alt E. And that's going to be, then we're going to hit B start line. And then we're going to go bink, and that should be right on the money. See, I've learned it since last time, guys. All right, so here we go. We're going to harvest this right away. And we should get a straw swath right away, and we do. Now, this thing makes a massive straw swath. I'm just noticing it, like, massive. And then we're going to take the HX20 and mulch the corn stalks right down, which is what we do in real life. So I will be explaining how we do it in real life, but I wanted to make sure that we are going with a series that we can do and we can accomplish. That's the header. Back up. Now we're going to have to do a headland or two. But, I mean, this map would be very, very, very obtainable to do a realistic series on because the fields are small on it. But it was one of those that it was kind of overlooked. I've seen it drop, and I didn't think anything of it. And all of a sudden, I kind of drove around. I was like, oh, yeah. I'm a big one on European, Polish, Irish maps. I don't know why. I love the American maps, don't get me wrong. And being from the United States, I love the American maps, but for some reason, playing Farm Sim, I really, really enjoy these. So, now, you wouldn't, just to let you guys know, you would not harvest at 6 miles an hour, even with corn. Now, corn you can go a little bit faster because it's a little thinner crop, but I would say max would be 3.5 miles an hour. Just so you guys know, I will always tell you guys the right speed. So for those of you who want to play realistic, you know how it's going to work. But like I stated, I've told you guys before that, you know, we've done the ultra realistic stuff before, and every time I get to about episode 3, 4, 5, it starts to fall off. And it did. But that's not why I left that series. I left it because I don't want to be on a series that I'm harvesting for, you know, and that's just for you guys. Respect for you guys, not for me. I mean, I'll harvest all day long. But now we should be able to go right on to our next GPS line. Get it up here. There we go. Lower the header, turn that on, hit the cruise control. There we go. Now we're on our second line, baby. Second line. And that's it. And now we're going to harvest this. Now, you know, with this being just a little over an acre, it will only take me a few seconds to do it. But this way we can get harvest done and we can rock and roll. And then next time I won't have to give a tour. So I was going to do hour-long videos, and we may. You know, and here's the thing is that we may bring that in. We may bring a couple of harvests in that are an hour, or not harvests, but videos that are an hour. So it's just it's getting late because I had to set this up, and it took me, we're about almost 2 hours, and it is now 1:19 in the morning, and I have to be up at 3:30. So but I'm not going to go in tomorrow morning. I'm going to call the farmhand and see if he'll come in for me just so I can sleep. But it took me a lot longer to get set up than what I wanted, only because I was spending some time with the family and I wanted to make sure that we did what we needed to do. So like I said, see, 6-meter equipment seems to work just about right. Yeah, we have to start stopping at the end of the fields. There we go. Just so it drains the straw out. But you do get straw in real life from corn. You really do. It's called fodder. But what you would do, though, just so you guys know, is it's more of a fluffy, like all the ears of stuff that's blown around. But where you get it from is when you come and mulch up the corn stalks, and then you can windrow it. So I'll get this done here so we don't put it all over the place again. See, one headland works perfect even with 6-meter equipment. Works really well. And then we can just go. Pretty cool. I kept the traffic on, but you know how I roll. until I get run into by somebody. Now, there isn't much traffic on this map. There is a ton of forestry, though. You know, there's absolutely a massive amount of forestry, but we're not doing forestry on this. And to let you guys know that when we are done with the Wilderness Wildlands series, we are going to go back to backcountry. I had a couple people today asking me if there was like an episode 17 of the backcountry, and I took we went off that map because remember the fog was so bad. But now that I have the fog map, the fog mod, we're going to go back. So I have the mod that allows me to turn it off. So that's pretty cool. And like I said, we'll sprinkle in a few hour videos here and there. There's a ton of factories on this map, and as we get farther and farther into it, I'm just liking the fact that there's a lot of dirt roads, so you can avoid a lot of traffic, which is absolutely really cool. I hate the traffic in Fs25, but it is what it is. Header up. And the mod author, the map author, has sprinkled in a few of these little trees that you hit on, and they are absolutely in the way. We're going to use our little delete button to get rid of some of them. The big trees will leave because we can see them, but those little ones are annoying. But yep, it reminds me of a couple of the Polish maps that we had for Fs25, which is absolutely amazing. Because I don't know what it is. I just can't explain it. I love the American maps, but generally when people make the American maps for Farming Simulator, they're huge. Look at Michigan. Look at Judith, Montana. Look at some of the maps, and there's a couple. One that came out today is from Indiana, and there's another one that came out from Missouri. They're just absolutely massive. And I'm a big, I think it's because I played too much big maps in FS19. When I first started in FS19 making videos, all the maps, all of them, even the base game maps, were huge fields. The first one was in FS19, wasn't it? What was that? The American map had pretty small fields on it until you got up to the end, and then it was the big ones. But Felsburn, I think it was, in FS19. Felsburn was massive as well. The fields were on it. I remember using massive equipment on that. So all the maps for FS19 were big. And then FS22 started coming out with some smaller ones. I still had their big maps, but it come up with some smaller ones, and I fell in love with it. And I really, really, really now enjoy doing small farming. It just feels right. So, and now that the fields are smaller, within 30 minutes, going 6 miles an hour, we should be able to at least get a harvest done. And like I said, we're just going to harvest all the crops first, like we're supposed to do. And then we're going to, once we get all harvested, then we're going to, but we'll get everything prepped on the field, but we're going to strategically plant them in by the month, like we always do. But we're going to do it to where we get all of our crops done. Like when we mow, we're going to mow one field and mow the other, and so on and so forth. So that way we're doing it like you're supposed to do. But 30 minutes is going to be just enough time. As you can see, we're 15 minutes, and I gave you quite a bit of a little tour. But yep, this whole farm I built from scratch. So for those of you who like to build your own farm, you can come on here and have a farming map where you're doing farming and forestry, and the fields are not ginormous, huge. For those of you who like big farming, Judith, Montana is where you need to go. Our first field was 20 acres. We had a 20, and then we had a 20 and a 15. So right off the bat with two fields, going realistic speeds, it would have, well, we were on 5 hours already, 5 hours of harvesting, combining, and we were still a long ways to go. The reason I picked this header also because it folds, because some of these fields are pretty tight. There we go. First one done. We can go do that one next to it. We should be able to get 2 fields done. And see, when you're harvesting 2 or 3 fields, now you feel like you're getting something done. We'll keep the same GPS lines for the next field. But see, one headland was just about right. I mean, technically I could have done 2, but over the header, finish this. We'll go right to that field next to us. We only got 5,000 liters, but this was awful dry. Absolutely awful dry. Shut that down, and we'll go right to the next field, which is right over here. One headland the same as the other one, and we'll whip this field right off quick. See, that's why I like it. Small fields, and you can just get them done. Not have to spend, even if we did this realistic, it would still only take just a little bit. Still not even a full grain tank yet. It's only because the crop is so dry. Okay, so we can't do that yet. We've got to get this headland done, and then we'll do a half one. And then we'll be on it. We'll go over to the next one. See, it'll put us just. We'll be like a half a headland, but okay. Now this one's going to come under a tree. That's pretty good. But yeah, it took me a long time to get set up. Like I never take about 2 hours to get set up. But yeah, it did this one. Only because I wanted to have the theme right, and I wanted to make sure that we're doing it right. It gave me a chance to drive around the map, and I was able to move the sell point, which is pretty cool, on this map, because I have store delivery. So I moved it from the original shop to right there. See that? Well, actually, that building right there, that's the animal dealership. That's another reason I picked this section of the farm. The animal dealership is right there to buy more animals, and I put the store shop right there. So that's it. We don't have to drive crazy. That's my fault. Hit the wrong button. There. And then we'll come bale the straw. We'll stack it in. And seeing as our fields are right here, we can just grab the load all and put it right in. Like, even if we start purchasing fields around us, like right here, we can go all the way like right to there and still carry bales home. Now, I fear that this Fiat Gris is going to use a bunch of fuel. Yeah, let's get this one first. Even though you would not harvest in the grass, just keeping our lines. I think you guys could enjoy this series. At least I am, anyways. This is we're going to call this the real series. Or maybe not. Maybe I'll come up with a cool, quirky name when I'm doing the video for it, or editing the video for it. There. We're almost done with the second field, so we can, like I said, we don't own the wheat one and we don't own the soybeans ones up there, but once we start purchasing fields around here, oh, I'm full. I was like, what happened? All right, now, where's our tractor? We do have the real damage mod on, and all that stuff is still on, so. We'll get this. We'll go right over to that shed there, grab our wagon, and go. This is a different version than I'm used to. It's not as loud. I put this fence in here around it because I figured someday we'll cut all those trees down and start making like a cool looking field. There we go. Gave myself just enough room to get out of there. We're going to dump this right in the silo. And I think I have this set up for back. Nope, we're going to tip it on the left side. The reason why is you would always tip towards the building. I'll show you when we get over there. Now this holds 8,000, but that holds 7,000, so we might as well dump it. We got about 7 minutes left. We should be able to get that field harvested, get onto the field number 3. Now you can see, I wanted to point out to Russell, he had talked about that number, see that number in the right-hand corner right by the speedometer? That's my GPS line. It tells me my speed, all that stuff, right? I actually managed to move it down. I did leave the degrees and stuff up towards the middle of the screen. I want to be able to see it. Now, when you dump your grain, guys, those who want realism, you always want to dump it towards the silo. Now that only holds 200,000, so we just put 7,000 in there. See how nice that sounds now, instead of the old clunky one. go. Right back to work again. So I think it works out well to where it's 3x speed seems to work out pretty much perfect. I also have the dynamic header on, so that basically when I drive towards the crop, it automatically lowers it, automatically raises it. I think it's called automatic raise or something, because in real life you raise it and lower it. And as you start moving, you would raise and lower it. So there. Sorry, I want to make sure the GPS is set up. So it raised it automatically. And then as I approach this crop here, it'll lower it, should. Let's see. Let me just hit the gas. Yep. That's that thing for AK, that the paddle speed and stuff. That's the dynamic header. It lowers and raises it as it's supposed to. So, got about 4 minutes left. We're going to be able to get the second field harvested already. That's pretty cool. We'll get all our harvest done, then we'll get all our baling done. We'll get the bales cleaned up. We'll get all the mulching done. Then we'll get all the fertilizing done, and then we'll get all the fertilizing, and then all the lime done, and then fertilizing it again so we can fertilize it twice, and then we will seed it. But now when we seed it, we'll start seeding it according to like 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, and so on and so forth. So once we get done harvesting and we get done baling and everything like that, we want to make sure that that field right there is planted before the end of September. This field is planted October, November, December, because it takes 6 months for this to grow. And then we'll have a couple of months where we can mow. See, I love that, how it raises and lowers it automatically. It is really hard to get used to the small fields again after you're used to being able to turn around, and it's a really wide swath. Hope my baler picks it up. Should. See, everything's right near our farm too. Even all of our fields. It's pretty cool. I don't want to go. I must sell at least one load of grain. I'm going to have to, because we're at $0. It's gonna... I think there's going to be some maintenance fees, and I don't want to go too much into negative numbers. So, all right. As we approach the end of this, we will finish going like this. So, on that note, please, please, please look out for yourselves, look out for each other, and most importantly, look out for each other's families. Be sure to like and subscribe and share. Hit the little notification ding ding bell so you're notified when Fury drops a video. Be sure to enjoy the night, the day, the weekend, whenever you're watching this. And remember, I love you all. We will be right back here either tomorrow or the next day with the Wilderness Wildlands. If not, if it takes me longer to get ready for that one, then I will bring this back for episode number 2, if you know what I mean. So... there we go. Last one of this one, and then we can finish up. Now, off camera, no, I'm not going to do any off camera. We're going to come back, and we're going to, when we're all done, we're going to finish harvesting that one, and then we're going to start baling. So on and so forth. And the reason I'm doing it is that I can do that now, because when the time is up, when we're ready to finish our day, we go to another month, which will mean that the grass will start growing it back and all that stuff. So there we go. Field number 2. That shut down. Oh, I gotta wait for just a couple seconds. This thing empties really light, like takes forever. So we'll straddle this, and we will go over to our next field and get set up. We have 2 fields over here to harvest. All right, let that run for a second. Shut it down. Shut the tractor down. Okay, guys and gals, we made it. We finished up 2 fields already. We harvested 1.35 and 9, so 2.22 acres. That's it. But we did it. All right, so we are in the end of episode 1, and we will come back. Next episode, we'll harvest this field, that field, and the field over there. And if we can get all 3 of them done in an episode, then we start right on it. We keep going and going and going. But we just want to strategically plant this one before September's over. This one, this field over here, done before October's over. November, December, January. I got one more field over here. And then by then, this one, so we're in September, so October, November, December, January. We'd only have a couple months, so we got to deal with waiting on that one. We want to get it right in the ground. All right, guys, get out of here, and I love you all, and I will catch you guys right back here. We're going to go run through Walter one time. I don't know why they put him right near my house. It's crazy. Because if you put this house down, it puts Walter there. It's crazy. So, but great job on the map. Great job, guys, and I will catch you guys on the flip side.